During the 9th century, a large number of Nordic people who had established in what is now Sweden's upland traveled east in quest of resources and wealth. They sieged Novgorod in this type of immigration, along with their monarch, the Great Rurik. Later, after settling down and achieving other victories, these warriors, known roughly as Rus, an Old Norse term meaning men who row, grew in power and influence, allowing them to negotiate and attack vast swaths of land, including the city of Constantinople. With all of this might and the reputation of being highly effective soldiers, they drew the attention of the Eastern Roman Empire, which always favored the recruitment of trustworthy and skilled mercenaries. According to historical sources, the word Varangian was first used to describe persons from the Rus-dominated territories as early as the 9th century. This was a religious epithet that meant trustworthiness and faithfulness, both of which were particularly frequent among Varangian forces. Because of their effectiveness, the Romans began to employ them more frequently, such as in a military campaign in Crete in 902, when 700 of these warriors assisted the Romans in their struggle against the Muslims. The Eastern Roman Empire ultimately chose to establish an alliance with the Rus in the year 988, seeking to have a sizable number of Varangians fighting at its side after proving themselves to be warriors of great competence and skill several times. This resulted in an agreement being signed between Emperor Basil II and Vladimir I of Kiev, enabling 6,000 Varangian warriors to join the Roman army. And the next year, in 989, they would prove that their deal had paid off. By that time, the Byzantine general Bardas Phocas and his army had rebelled. However, because no form of opposition to the empire would be permitted, Roman forces and Varangians were dispatched to exterminate the rebels and Bardas Phocas. The warriors, headed by their emperor, landed in Chrysopolis, now Greece's territory, and slaughtered the rebels and Bardas Phocas, who died of a stroke upon seeing the horror that awaited him. With the death of their commander, the rebels left the battlefield in terror, but were finally chased by the Varangians, who happily killed their fleeing opponents, as reported by Emperor Basil II himself. Recognizing that these soldiers were extremely talented and devoted, the emperor chose to recruit them as his personal guards and to oversee the protection of the royal palace. This was a major achievement. Even if the Varangians were renowned to be violent and murderous, few had the bravery to act against the emperor, and because their commitment to their leaders was unshakable, the emperor could be certain that he would not be deceived by his personal guards, allowing this usual fear for Roman leaders to recede from his mind. Because of all these traits, the Varangian Guard became the best-paid unit in the entire Eastern Roman Empire, allowing its members to earn extraordinarily huge sums of money and extensive areas to settle in. In the centuries after, the Varangian Guard remained dedicated to their mission of protecting the Eastern Roman emperors, making them not only one of the best-paid corps in the empire, but also one of the most revered. It created a prominent position in the hierarchy and society for the near future. If you want to learn more about the history of this Imperial Guard, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment with your take.